Hi guys, welcome back again to my YouTube channel. This is Talk to CL Show, and I am Cassie. And today we have a special guest with us here. Her name is Fega, and today we are going to talk to her about, regarding the law system here in Germany. So that is our special guest. I'll leave her for her to introduce herself to us so that we will know who we are going to talk to today. So hi, Fega.
Hi, Cassie. Thanks for having me. Yeah,
You're
as Cassie
welcome.
has already introduced me, my name is Fega. I am a 25-year-old German-born Nigerian. I
Okay.
am a jurist, meaning that I have undergone a substantial part of my legal training here in Germany. So that's me.
Okay, that's nice. So, what inspired you to pursue a career in law?
I'd say it was the general fact that I didn't have a lot of representation growing up. I didn't
Okay.
see a lot of black lawyers. I didn't see a lot of black doctors. So you know how they say, be the change that you want to see in the world. So I did
Mhm.
just that and decided to go ahead and pursue a career in law.
Okay, what are your area of interest on the law sector?
So from a research point of view, it would be comparative law and legal culture because I kind of grew up in an international and dual culture environment myself, and
Okay.
I really like the idea of how that reflects in the legal world. And I also like the idea of working in an international environment. So having a good understanding of different legal cultures is very important and it's very interesting to me. Um, then from a career point of view, I would say business law.
Okay.
Also because it's very lucrative from a financial point of view, and
Mm-hmm.
it gives you certain insights that university, for instance, doesn't. So yeah, those are my areas of interest.
Okay, that is so cool. And have you faced any challenges in your journey so far?
Yeah, I faced a lot of challenges actually.
Can you
Um,
share some with us?
yeah, the most
Okay.
challenging I'd say would have been to persevere simply
Okay.
because I went on studying for 5 years plus without having any degree at all. Although I had completed the amount of coursework that would at least award someone else who studied another course a bachelor's degree. But
Okay.
because the legal training system and the degree program simply wasn't designed that way, I had to wait all the way till the end until I wrote and passed the stats exam and until I finally got a degree, which in that case was then a master's degree. But
Okay.
all the years before that, I didn't have any degree and it was weighing on me mentally a lot. So that was that. And then another thing would be the financial challenge. I funded my studies by working in a law firm as a working student once a week to supplement the BAföG that I was receiving to keep up with my bills. But I always had at the back of my mind that, oh, I wish I didn't have to work so that I could actually use that extra time to focus on my studies. But my situation simply didn't allow for it. I had bills to pay. So that
Okay.
was very frustrating. And this also ties in with another aspect that um, I had to manage the overall workload of things that
Okay.
I had to read and study for the Staatsexamen. And because I was working, I always had the feeling that, oh, like I'm not even catching up. I'm not even able to like read everything that I have to read and study everything that needs to be studied because I simply don't have the time for it. And that
Okay.
was very stressful and challenging for me as well.
Okay, when you talk about funding, does it mean you were paying any tuition or any school fees?
No, the course itself was tuition fee or is tuition fee, like many
Mhm.
other courses in Germany.
Okay.
However, there are other miscellaneous costs, such as rent and general upkeep. I lived by myself. I had to take care of myself financially. And then
Mm-hmm.
also for the course itself, like, so you see these books that you see behind me, they cost
Yeah.
money. I think it's like 50 euros each.
Oh,
And
okay.
the books keep on updating themselves. Like, you have to keep up with these as well.
Okay.
So that
Okay.
your books are always up to date, and these cost money as well. Like this, for instance, is like 20 euros.
Okay.
And you have all of these for all these books. So like it amounts, to like a certain number, and you have to be able to afford those things as well. Otherwise, you can't write the exam.
Yeah.
So yeah, those were like the costs that I inquired.
Oh, okay. That is okay. And how long is your course in general? If someone wants to do law, how long is it?
Okay, so the journey from starting the studies to becoming a full-fledged lawyer or even judge
Mm-hmm.
or state prosecutor can take
Okay.
anywhere from 7 to 11 years, actually. The course is designed to take 5 years. It's just that
Okay.
it's not always the case for everyone. Some do finish sooner, like maybe in 4 years, which is an absolute rarity.
Mm-hmm.
Others do finish in that 5 years. For many others, it's 6 or 7, like it was in my case, which then is the theoretical training. And then comes the practical training, which takes like another 24 months, so 2 years. So, yeah, at the end of the day, depending on your circumstances, your pace, it can be anywhere from 7 to 11 years. 7 years for those who are fast, actually, and
No.
11 years for those who simply needed a bit more time.
Oh, okay. What do you think about the structure of the course in here in Germany when it comes to law
Compared to other countries.
compared to other countries?
Uh, I think it's very unique.
Okay.
I think it's very unique. It's different than what you may have heard of. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what I think about it.
Okay, and so if you say it's unique, is it with your course? I know you said right after your program, you can't automatically practice the law, so you can't be called a lawyer at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And so if that is the case, when or at what point do you become a lawyer? Or it's different from lawyer itself, judges itself? Like, I mean, just elaborate for some of us who do not know
Mm-hmm.
much about these things.
Okay, so you are able to practice as a lawyer once you have completed the theoretical and the practical training. Because
Okay.
the theoretical training ends with the first state examination in law,
Mm-hmm.
and the practical training ends with the second state examination in law. So only once you have done both, you are then considered a Volljurist, a full-fledged jurist, and
Oh,
then you're
okay.
eligible to either become a lawyer, a judge, or a state prosecutor. If you want to become a lawyer, you would then have to go to the German Bar Association after passing the second state examination in law, and then you would be admitted to bar, and then you could finally practice as a lawyer. Personally, I have only completed my theoretical training, so because the practical training for me is still outstanding, I can't practice as a lawyer just yet.
Oh, okay. Okay, so in general, how long
Yes.
does it take? Okay, use yourself as an example.
Yeah.
You took 7 years to complete this one. How long will it take you for you to become a lawyer? Or it
I
depends on
mean,
you.
I am hoping to start my practical training, let's say in about a year or two from now.
Okay.
Given that the practical training itself takes 2 years on its own, I'd say in 4 years, roughly.
Okay.
I just did the
Okay.
math.
Oh, okay. What are some of the biggest academic challenges you faced for being a law student here in Germany?
Some of the biggest academic challenges.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be managing the workload for sure. and then
Okay.
the financial aspects, those two things, besides like the mental challenge.
Okay, about the exams you guys write, during your when you're about to finish, because I know for law, a lot to be a lawyer here in Germany or in your context, if you fail twice, you are considered not to partake in anything considering the law thing here anymore. How was it when you were about to finish? And you know that if you fail twice, you are no more into the law again. It means you are totally out. How was it for you?
It was a mental struggle. It was a mental struggle. I used to have nightmares. Like I didn't sleep
Okay.
well at night because at some point I'm like, yo, I'm like 6+ years into this. If I fail, then I have to gather myself to do it again. And if I then fail again, like I just wasted 7 years of my life, you know? So it was
Yeah.
it was a total mental struggle.
And how did you feel when you were done with it?
I felt an overwhelming sense of relief. Like there had been weight on my shoulder that I felt like I could finally let go. I felt so light. I felt like I could levitate. That was the
Okay.
feeling. It wasn't like all joy and happiness. No, it wasn't, but it was relief. Because I always like to say that it felt like I was holding my breath for so long and I could
Mhm.
finally exhale. So that's how I describe how I felt.
Okay. So do you think the German's legal system training is more structured compared to other countries in terms of the law?
Mm, I wouldn't say it's more structured.
Okay.
I would, however, say it's more rigid. Rigid with regards to the workload once again,
Okay.
and also with regards to the mode in which the workload or the knowledge of the workload is being tested. Yes,
Oh,
so that's
okay.
what I would say.
So give us a little brief about if I want to study law or if I want to be a lawyer here in Germany, whether I'm an international student or whether I am a German citizen or whatsoever, the criteria they look out for if someone wants to become a lawyer here or wants to practice law here.
So first things first would be having A level equivalent secondary school leaving certificate.
Okay.
That would be the first thing. So if you are grew up in Germany and you went to secondary school in Germany, that would be the Abitur. If you
Okay.
didn't, it would have to be something that is the equivalent. A certain GPA is of an advantage. The higher your GPA, the easier it is for you to come in or like
Mm-hmm.
to directly get into the course. For some, they actually have to wait for a few semesters before they
Yeah.
get into the course. And then for non-German citizens, I believe it would also be like a certain level of German language proficiency, like an evidence of German language proficiency. Yeah.
Okay, so even if I am from a different country coming to study here, I could also use my college certificate to apply for it.
Very much so. I actually did encounter a few colleagues at uni who came
Okay.
here and ended up successfully studying law as non-German born. So it's very much possible.
Oh, okay. That's cool. So some
Yeah.
countries focus more on common law,
hmm
while other focus on civil law, like Germany. Which
hmm
system do you think is better for justice and fairness?
I really like this question. I really do. But honestly, I can't really say that one is better than the other
Okay.
for fairness and justice. I will simply say that both the common law and the civil law legal system address certain legal issues in a different way.
Okay.
But I wouldn't say that because it's different, it's better. That's how I would put it.
Okay, so what are the plans after school?
My plan is to become a lawyer, which obviously I'm currently working on,
Mm-hmm.
and then to practice in Germany for a start. I don't know where my career is going to take me after that, but
Okay.
venturing into the lawyering profession definitely is the plan and the goal.
Okay, so in the law field, what are the biggest career opportunities for lawyers here in Germany?
Um, I think the biggest career opportunities for a lawyer would be working in a big law firm, salary wise.
Okay.
Um, big firm, big salary. So I
Like, what's the
think,
range of their salary here? Like, basic range for lawyers. Do you know the salary range?
it's actually a very broad range because the salary depends on the size of firm that you work for.
Oh, okay.
And it also depends on your performance on the
Oh.
second Staatsexamen, actually. Because
Oh.
certain law firms, especially bigger law firms, do require you having certain grades on the
Mm-hmm.
examen. If you don't meet them, your chances of getting in are very slim. I'm not
Oh,
saying
okay.
that you can't get in at all because it has happened, but your chances are better if you have the required grades. So let's say you do meet those grades and you do end up being in a big law firm. I think salaries, entry level salary range from like 120, 130K annually upwards. Um, in a medium sized law firm or in a smaller law firm, that would look very different. So
Oh, okay.
at the end of the day, like there are many deciding factors.
Oh, okay. So, what is that one thing you would want to change about the legal education system here in Germany?
The one thing that I do want to change is this all or nothing system. It's this you do all the coursework, you write the stats exam, and you unfortunately fail and you leave without a degree. That needs to change.
Okay.
Um, anything else? No, I think this would be the
That's
main
the
thing.
only
Be the
thing.
main thing I
Okay.
want to change.
That's so cool. And you being a black person, in here in Germany, especially coming, if you're by your roots, you're not from here. How was the feeling when you first went to law school? Did you by any means faced any racism?
Um, in the beginning, I did face an incident that entailed microaggression. That
Okay.
wasn't too nice. It didn't affect my studies or my overall performance in any way, but it simply
Mm-hmm.
was a very unpleasant experience. Um, and how did I feel? I felt happy and privileged to be in the position that I was, and I still
Okay.
feel that way till this day. I also, however, felt very underrepresented. So we go back to what I said in the very beginning. You don't see a lot of lawyers, jurists, professors at the uni of African origin, you know?
Okay.
So there was me and maybe a few others, and as students, and that was about it. So, yeah.
Oh, okay. And also back to the practical training. I know it lasts for 24 months.
Mhm.
Are students paid during this kind of period? Like, are they paid?
Yeah, the practical legal training is actually funded by the state. So
Okay.
you receive a quote unquote monthly salary, let's put it that way. Because at the end of the day, you're working, you know?
Okay.
You undergo different placement, I like to compare it to the clinical rotation for doctors. So you
Okay.
have different placements, and you're working there. You are a trainee judge, you are a trainee prosecutor, you are a trainee lawyer. It's work.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously, you would then receive like a monthly financial support for undergoing that practical legal training.
Okay. In your own experience, is there enough financial support for immigrant student, or you think there should be more to be done regarding that?
Um, I think there are very good attempts in general of financially supporting students, like with BAföG or scholarships.
Okay.
So in that sense, I would say yes. However, maybe there could be more scholarships, particularly tailored to immigrant students. I think that would be nice and equally beneficial.
And how is the scholarship system like? Is it so easy to apply to get, or do you know much about it first of all?
Um, I actually never really applied to scholarships
Scholarship,
myself
okay.
like that. I did apply to a few, but I didn't meet the credentials because I simply applied too late. I didn't learn
Ah,
about the opportunity of scholarships well ahead of time. So by the time I knew about it, I had already well advanced with my studies. So I wasn't eligible for the scholarships I did apply for. Different scholarships have different requirements, which are indicated on their platforms, maybe having certain grades or having certain extracurricular activities that you perform in, or is it you are engaging in politics? Different scholarships have their own requirements, and once you meet them, it's certain that you will get them, you know. I just unfortunately didn't know about it well ahead of time.
okay. That's okay. And
Hmm.
if you could go back in time, would you still choose the traditional German legal training path? Or would you consider an alternative like the LLB and LLM?
I love this question as well. And the answer to this would be yes and no.
Okay.
Since it is my goal to become a lawyer here in Germany, either way, I would have had to write the Staatsexamen, whether I enroll for the traditional law course, do all my coursework, and then write the Staatsexamen, or I do an LLB and LLM first, and then switch to the traditional law course. I still have to write the Staatsexamen. The
Mm-hmm.
advantage with the latter, however, is, and I didn't know this on time as well, is
Okay.
that it would that option eases the psychological pressure of not having a degree, and if you fail you are out and you wasted all this time. Because with the latter, if I had an LLM and I failed the SHATS exam, and I would have something to fall back on, it would give me like a softer landing, you know. So in that
Okay.
sense I'd say yes, but no, because I would have had to write the SHATS exam anyways.
And in any ways, I'll still ask you another question depending on that again.
Yes.
If you had to change one thing, would you want to have a degree before you move to the masters, or you think the one that you move to the master's trace is also a better option?
um I would have so loved to have at least a bachelor's degree.
Okay.
That would have been
Okay.
very nice. And I know that there are reforms currently taking place that are trying to implement this very aspect into the traditional legal training system. And I
Okay.
think it's awesome because, once again, it's a huge mental stress. I had nightmares, and I'm not the only one. It's not cool.
Yeah.
It's really not cool. So, in that sense, yes, like having like a bachelor's degree, whether I pursued it beforehand or it being implemented into the traditional law course, it would have been nice.
No, okay. That is okay. And what
Yeah.
advice would you give to someone who wants to practice law, or an immigrant watching you and wants to come into the law sector? What advice would you give?
Um, yeah. First of all, becoming a lawyer or also like a judge and a state prosecutor because the requirements are the same in
Yeah.
Germany is a very, 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 very huge undertaking.
Okay.
So I would advise to be aware of what you are getting yourself into.
Mm-hmm.
You would have to be aware of the fact that it's going to take a long time. It's a
Okay.
lengthy period. And you would
Yeah.
also have to be aware of the fact that depending on the state that you live in, you might end up leaving the course without a degree. So
Okay.
that awareness is very important. Then, aside that, there are three fundamental things that I would want to advise. One, motivation is not your friend, discipline is. Meaning that relying just on motivation alone to get you to the finish line is not your best bet. You have to be disciplined. You have to have routines. You have to, you know, be on it
Yeah.
irrespective of motivation to
Mm-hmm.
eventually get to the finish line. The second thing would be to take your educational and career well-being very, 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 very seriously. Education is an important foundation, especially here
Okay.
in Germany. It is a door opener, so you are doing yourself a favor when you prioritize it from the get-go. It's absolutely paramount. And
Okay.
then the last thing, and maybe even the most important thing, particularly for studying law in Germany or pursuing a legal career in Germany, would be to to understand that you are operating at your own pace. So you
Okay.
are neither behind nor are you ahead. You are simply doing things according to your own pace. As long as you are not where you used to be, you are making progress. And understanding this is very, 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 very key to maintaining your sanity because it can be frustrating to see that the people you started with already having graduated and they've already advanced and you are still like stuck or left behind. But in reality, you aren't. You are simply operating at your own pace.
Okay.
Yeah.
And with all of this, because it looks like it's really a stressful course
Yeah.
to actually deal with, how are you balancing it with your social life?
Not at all. I wasn't. I had no social life. Ask people who know me like for the years of 2022, 2023, 2024, like people didn't see me. And that was that.
Oh,
I was in the library and I was at home and I did that and I was alternating for like months. The people in the library would see me more than my own family. So that's also like a reality that you have to be aware of. I sacrificed a lot of my social life and other aspects as well to actually successfully complete the course. So for me, there wasn't really that much of a balance. I will, however, say that in my weekly plan, I did try to like carve out time to rest, especially on the weekends, so
okay.
that I could see my family at least on the weekends. And I could also do one or two other things that were fun. But I did cut down a lot. That's what I'm trying to say.
It was worth it at the end of the day, I guess.
It was worth it. I look back and I have no regrets. It's just
That's
one of
so
those things where you
good.
just have to be like laser focused for a certain period of your life
Mm-hmm.
to get a certain result.
Yeah, that's
And they
fine.
say it's better to have 5 years of pain and 50 years of ease, than to
Mm-hmm.
have 5 years of ease and 50 years
And
of
50
pain,
at the pain. Yeah.
So at the end of the day, it's just temporary. It was just temporary.
Okay, that's cool. How do you think legal professionals can help improve justice in the country?
Um, I think They could do that by tailoring the law to the
Okay.
need and the state of the society as society keeps changing. So I guess
Mm-hmm.
this actually applies more to those legal professionals who work as legislators. But I think that's
Oh,
how
okay.
they can do that.
Okay. And do you think AI and technology will change the legal profession in the country some years to come?
I love this question as well. I really love this question, and I actually think it will. I actually think it will. For instance, by helping to summarize and dissect lengthy legal documents, or maybe
Okay.
even help in drafting or wording certain legal documents. Obviously, when it comes to AI, you have to take everything with a pinch of salt. But I think
Mm-hmm.
fundamentally that it will change and perhaps even benefit the legal profession. Yes.
Okay. How do you see yourself in the next 5 to 10 years to come?
In the next 5 to 10 years, I see myself having completed all my mandatory legal training. I
Mm-hmm.
see myself being a full-fledged German lawyer.
Okay.
And I see myself in the corporate field having very much advanced
Okay.
in my job as a lawyer.
Okay. Then that is okay. And I really wish you all the best
Thank
in
you.
every field that you touch or you want to actually do. I wish you the
Thank
very
you.
best. Okay, so this is the end of our interview. And I'll just want, if you want to say anything to my viewers, you can just say it, then I'll wrap up from there.
Um, yeah, I hope that this interview shed some light on the legal training system in Germany. The information that I shared was obviously very surface level, but I do hope that it gives an idea of how legal training works in Germany. If
Yeah.
any of you guys do have any further question, feel free to contact me. Reach out to me on my platforms, and I'm sure to like answer certain questions in greater detail.
Okay, thank you, Frega. Thank you for coming to my show.
You're
So, hi
welcome.
guys, thank you all for watching yesterday. This is all that we have for you, and thank you so much, Frega, for coming and then also explaining so much to us. I really do appreciate you a lot, and I hope to see you very soon again. Thank
You're
you.
welcome, and I hope so too.
All right, guys. So please do what to hit the subscribe button, like this video, and also share it as well. See you in my next video. Bye.
Bye.